You want to know what guys really think and talk about behind closed doors? Look no further. Welcome to the Other Guys podcasts. You'll most likely be offended, but you'll probably laugh too. So, enjoy.
Okay, welcome to the Other Guys podcast. I'm Kevin.
And as always, I'm Murray.
No, you're not.
And I'm Kirk.
It's Kirk.
Probably I'm Murray again.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm Kirk Murray.
Okay, I'm Kevin.
Murray Kirk.
Kirk.
And I got Murray and Kirk here today. You're gonna have to figure out who's who.
Who is whom?
Jesus fuck.
Whom is whom?
Jesus. You know, you make it so easy
Whom?
to fucking get triggered.
Whom is that?
Right. Look, this is the Other Guys podcast. We talk about some random
Who
shit. That us with the other guys.
Who
Oh
dat?
my god.
Sorry.
And
Kevin.
You guys aren't on drugs even. Okay.
Not yet.
No. Anyways, I wanna before we start, I wanna do a little bit of a shout out. Is that cool? Can I do a shout out?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I do? Okay.
Are you asking Khalid or me?
Oh yeah, Khalid the intern is here today.
I thought you were looking at Khalid when that whole time.
It doesn't matter who I'm looking at, but here, okay.
Khalid is here.
Here's the thing. Khalid is here. And
That's who I keep looking at.
Yeah, so if we look, yeah. But here's the thing. I want to do a quick shout out to one of our listeners. I'm gonna put her down as our number one fan.
Well, I wouldn't label anybody as a fan, but
Listen, if you're interacting with us on the regs,
I think she just likes to see a train wreck.
well, enjoy.
Now she can because there's
Yes,
video
now you
now.
can
Well,
visually-
she's known me for a while, so.
Yeah. We still don't know if this is gonna be.
But
on
what
YouTube,
was it?
but we'll see.
What was it? So she's commented on.
Yeah, so
the
because one of
previous-
our last pods about we were talking about like how I discovered that I was a millennial, right? And anyway, she did.
Burns.
She did a little back checking into this because I don't back check, but she did, and she found out that millennials are basically from 1988 to I forget what, but I'm a millennial.
No, not 1988 too. It's from like in 1977.
Yeah.
And like I think the thing that she posted was 87.
For you guys,
I think I saw that. Oh yeah.
You guys are.
Oh, that's exennial.
Exennials. Because you guys, what's your birthday?
Well,
birthday
it's meaning that we come after Generation X.
okay.
Which were basically the difference is Generation X is like you became like a young adult or adult in the 90s, whereas if you're a millennial, it means you most likely became an adult in the new millennium. So late 90s, early 2000s.
So what's your birthday?
September 8th, 1985.
I just need the year, but okay. What's yours?
Yeah,
Just the year, just
I'm
the
an
year.
exennial.
Okay, fine. Fuck, you're the exennial. But
Yeah,
anyways,
it's like we want my social insurance number next.
maybe. But here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the Jesus
You
Christ.
feel me on this one?
Want to know what my favorite color is?
Maybe, but
It's not
here's the
red.
Things
Ed.
that make me cry.
Thing. Here's the thing.
I like the color of blood.
I
I'm kidding.
apparently, according to this chart that Carolyn provided us, I'm at the fucking end of. I'm the leader of the millennials. I am the first of my kind.
Our leader sucks.
Hey, you guys got fucked.
He'll beat him later.
Yeah.
Listen,
So yeah, so your year could be the first year of this
Yeah.
millennial takeover.
yeah, listen. we're
Or
taking over.
outbreak.
Whatever.
That's true. In a virus,
Viral infection.
viral like a plague.
Yeah.
Listen, as a recently discovered millennial, I'll admit we're pretty fucked up, but we're fucking entertaining.
So what does
Give
she
you
say? So she
We
posted.
fucking that.
She posted the actual like what an exennial is,
Yeah.
which is what me and Kirk, I guess, we fall into this.
Yeah. You're
And
current
are we
age-
awesome? Is that what it said?
Listen,
We're awesome?
1977 to 1987. You guys are currently either between the ages of 31 and 41.
Old.
Largest group after the baby boomers.
We were young once.
You know.
Hashtag.
But
Hashtag.
you know what though? You guys had some pretty cool times. You guys got to enjoy the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. You guys didn't have to grow up in this.
I was a kid in the 80s.
But you
We
got
talked
to enjoy
about this.
bits and pieces. But what I'm saying is
And
that
you know what I like? Still possess the old school.
Yeah.
We're still the old school, which is right.
Yeah. No. You guys.
We see hashtags as pound signs.
And we understand the current world. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys.
Hashtag pound sign.
When
You
we
guys don't
enjoy
have
great
to-
music.
You guys don't have to deal with
Like
the
Limp Bizkit.
sensitive.
Great music.
Like Linkin Park.
Oh, God.
Like
Anybody still relevant?
3 Days Grace.
Like I said, anybody still relevant?
I've seen them live.
Like Cheap Trick.
Like Guns N' Roses.
Okay. there
GNR,
we go.
great band.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
they're still kicking. Tupac, Biggie.
Nope, not them.
Cool Mo D.
No,
We had Cool Mo D.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
had Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, someone kicking.
We had MC Ren. Everyone forgets about him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, pretty
From
much.
NWA, yeah.
But no. So anyway, she
Ice-
brought that
what
up.
did you say? Ice Ice Baby? What, Vanilla
That's
Ice?
Vanilla Ice, yeah.
That was also part of us, so don't judge us on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
MC Hammer.
Don't judge it. But fuck,
Parachute
you know what?
pants?
I remember
Look,
that shit. That shit was like number one.
listen,
He had
Right
two-
Said Fred. Do you remember that Right Said Fred guy?
Wasn't he the guy who wore
I'm
like
too sexy. The song I'm
Oh.
too sexy for my shirt.
No, Paul Rudd has a thing about him because he said that he tried to he was like he was obsessed with him as a kid. He wanted to be just
he
like
was
him.
obsessed with Right Said Fred.
He was like he thought he was really cool, right? But he's like
He had a number one song.
but he had like a receding hairline because he was like
He was bald.
yeah, but he had that receding hairline thing. So he was like apparently Paul Rudd tried to shave his head to make it look like he had because he wanted to duplicate duplicate his look, and he was like
good.
he didn't realize that's just like hair loss. So
But
at
I
the
get
time-
him. You know what? I don't remember if but Right Said Fred and the guy from Aqua,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the Swedish guy.
Barbie girl guy.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I get so confused.
But anyway, she brought that up, and I just wanted to, I guess confirm my ways. It's the reason why I am what I am. But
Yeah. So what did she made a comment though? What's that?
no, she was just basically saying how millennials are doing dumb shit, but like exennials are cool. You guys are fucking cool.
I guess, but I think
Well,
the whole thing is that it's like
Hey guys, what's going on? To comment on your millennial talk, we are actually not millennials. Okay, so she's an exennial too.
You guys, yes.
but it's all just like lumping too many groups of people into the same thing.
It's all fucking categorical.
It's basically like-
bullshit.
and she says for sure she knows I'm in this category.
yeah.
Thanks, Carolyn.
Because you're old.
Because I've heard some stuff that people say,
Should get a
and they're
button for
like,
that.
"Oh, it's a millennials," and I'm like, "I wouldn't do that shit. That's dumb."
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that post.
Here's the thing: no matter what generation you're from, and this is even to, what the greatest generation. What do they call the baby boomers? Are they called the baby boomers, or who's the greatest generation?
No,
The guys who went to war.
World
the
War II
parents of the baby boomers.
Oh, so what are they
Yes.
called?
They're the greatest generation because they fought world wars.
Is that their generation? What's the
That's
title?
like my grandparents are
So
the
what's
greatest.
their title?
Greatest.
They're the greatest.
They're just the greatest. So
They're
they
the
greatest.
automatically- they
They're like
automatically
they're
get
the
greatest.
gold era of people.
Oh, okay, fuck. But you know what?
They're the gold stamp. Yeah, the gold seal. There's
Here's
nothing
the thing.
better than them, except for
Like-
like maybe the people that were taking down mammoths.
Like I've been in like 100-degree
protecting
heat with
the
my
village.
grandpa, and I've never seen him sweat. He never sweats.
Greatest generation.
cool as a cucumber.
He's always. I would say he's always calm, but I've never seen the dude sweat. It's
Here's
like,
the thing. Every
it's impressive.
generation has their pluses and minuses. Even the greatest generation. Yep, you did World War II, but you know what? You guys also beat your wives, so. Listen, like,
Okay,
not
I was drinking when that happened.
there's no such thing as perfect, and I think we can all fucking just agree on that at least. There's no such thing. But anyways, I wanna talk about some stuff today. I wanna dig into some stuff. You know what I did today?
CrossFit,
Masturbated.
CrossFit, and masturbate.
Nope.
Went to a kids park.
Crossbait.
I've done a couple of those.
Chuck E.
things.
Cheese.
No. Okay. No. What I did in the first time in 2 years, I took public transit.
I thought you didn't like trans people.
Public
Oh, I'm so-
transportation.
Public trans.
I
as
heard.
Toronto folk know, the TTC. I took transportation. What I used to call the peasant mobile.
But why? You have a Mustang. Why would you take?
Well, I have a Mustang and a Harley. Let's get that.
Well, it's
Whoa, boy.
November, so good luck on the motorcycle.
Let's get that clear. But here's the thing. I took it because I had to get downtown. I had to do a couple of stops downtown. Parking was whatever. So I was like, from a convenience factor, it felt like taking transit was the better way. As I got on, I instantly regret it. But I actually did a couple of trips downtown today and, switched lines. And I felt a little nostalgic because at one point in my life, this used to be my main mode of transportation. So, like, I used to be accustomed to it. And I don't know, I kind of had this little, like, at first I was very judgmental. I was like, oh, man, look at all these people fucking having to take this fucking low form of transportation, whatever. But then I realized some people are less fortunate, right?
Some people choose to take it, and it's not about being less fortunate.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Here comes the back pedal.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
All you TTC losers,
Here's
right?
the thing.
Is that what?
Kevin's looking at you.
At first, that's what it was. But then I realized, you know what? For some people, this is the way. This is the way of it. And you know what? It was kind of humbling. It was humbling. I was like, you know what? I have as a man who
It was
has
humbling.
Yeah, because I was like, you
Taking
know what?
transit's humbling.
Yes. No, and here's the reason why. And you know what? It opened up a whole different world for me because here's the thing. I feel like, I'm not desensitized, but I'm privileged to be able to drive a car, motorcycle, buses, forklifts. I can drive a lot of things. But if my only main of transportation was transit, my world wouldn't be as open. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't have wasn't free and I was only able to take, my world would be very small.
I tell everybody, you got to get your driver's license.
Oh, yeah.
And people have talked to me. We've talked about this on a podcast where they're like, well, I don't need one. I'm like, eventually everybody does. Everybody does. Unless you're just confined into your bubble. Which a lot of people are, right?
Yeah.
They're like downtown urban dwellers, and they're like, well, I'll never need one. It's like, okay, well,
Well, I would say
Good
that,
luck.
like, because I guess I come from a different situation than you guys. Because it's
you're-
like,
yeah.
I'm from somewhere where you are a complete loser if
you
you
don't
ride
know-
the bus.
Yeah.
So it's very important from just like fitting in society-wise to be driving a car.
Yeah.
Well, when I was
But
a
like
teenager-
here, it's like it's definitely acceptable that like anybody does what they want, which is why I like it here. It's like, and it's convenient for me. Like, I mean, technically, like, I can bike to work faster than any car or bus could get me there.
when I was
December?
Not in December, but like,
you could, yeah. No,
if I
it's
really
not-
wanted to, yeah, I guess. But put some
But
fat tires on.
But how many people see? This is the thing, like from the people that because you grew up, somewhere in you. But like when I grew up, it was the guys. We all basically got our licenses as soon as we possibly could. There was a couple that lingered behind, but they eventually got it.
Yeah, it was like your
But even then,
birthday.
like, the
Your
only-
birthday, you go get it, right?
Yeah, you go get it the first, as soon as you could, and then but the girls maybe lingered a little bit, but
Because they had the guys driving them around.
yeah, but I mean, for the most part, like the girls that I grew up with that I'm friends with, like for the majority, like I mean, there's probably one or two, but like even then, I think by now, like most of them, like everybody's got them, but everybody got them.
Yeah.
But now it's not like that, and like when I was coming up, like if you were a dude and you didn't have your license when you were like 18. Yeah, like I mean, like you wouldn't maybe say it to somebody's face, but you might be like, "Why don't you have your fucking license? Like what's wrong with you?" Oh, well,
Yeah.
maybe they don't have the money or whatever. But it's like
My mom's
doesn't
friend's
mean you get a
husband did
car.
that to
It
me
means,
because
like,
I didn't
why
have
just
my
don't you have a
my G
license?
license when I was like 20. I waited and it like was about to expire, and I was like, I'm like, hey, I still gotta get this done. He's like, what the fuck's wrong with you,
dude, I would just assume like if we were doing something, like I would just like I remember like a specific instance where I was talking to a friend who I just assumed he had his license, and I was like, okay, I'm here, like I'm gonna have a ride here, and then so here's the deal: you go to my house, grab my car keys, grab my ride, meet me here, and then we'll head out from there. Like just grab my car, meet me there, pick me up, and then I'll drive us. Because I knew he didn't have a car, but I thought he had a license. And he's like, well, I can't drive. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't drive? I'm like, what, didn't you get your license?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, remember? I failed and he never. And I'm like, Jesus. I threw a whole wrench into the plan.
No, but this experience.
And I'm a dude.
Had,
What about a chick?
Yeah, chicks, But
You really limit who you can date.
yeah, that also becomes a factor. But for me, the whole taking public transportation and
Nostalgic.
there was a bit of nostalgia, but it also kind of
Made you feel better than the people there.
No. At first, I was like,
Because I'll agree. I admit, like, I haven't
you see
been
a lot
on
of
it in a while,
weirdos.
which is why I want it off public transit.
Yeah.
But at the same, well, it depends what time you take it. But there's always weirdos everywhere, especially on that, because they can't get a license or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
I agree, because on the few times I've taken it since I
Yeah.
have become a driver, a vehicle owner. Yeah, like I've been on there and I'm like, oh man, this brings back memories.
No.
And it's like, man, I remember when I used to get drunk and pass out during the day, over like just like memories,
Yeah.
But
for me, there was the nostalgia factor.
I feel like there's a certain feel to the TTC Bloor subway,
Oh yeah.
It's got that nice rock to it. You go to Montreal, it's like jagged. You're like, I'm jarred, man. I like that like cool flow of the Bloor line. Like it kind of like rocks a little bit, and it's like it doesn't ever like if you're standing, it never like you can stand and not really have to worry about like.
But no, for me, there was a nostalgia factor, but there was also more of a like when I got on there, right? And so my personal experience, I got on there, and I usually try not to sit down. And I'll stand up in a corner or whatever. And you start looking around the train, and you'll see you'll see weird people, man. You'll see like a lady with 7 purses. You'll see
I saw a lady with a lizard, like a iguana. She was wearing as like a scarf.
You'll see like kids with fucking ponytails and fucking millennials. You'll see a lot of millennials. Fucking
yep. Sometimes kids have ponytails. Yep,
you'll see weird, but you see you'll see people with like horrible hygiene.
A ponytail now, not a huge thing, especially with the man buns.
Well, I think it was a man bun,
right?
but yeah.
Man
you
bun,
mean by just like
just
men in general, not just like women with ponytails.
No,
see kids.
Men. He's saying men.
Oh, I know, but I was just
Women with ponytails. I've seen all these fucking ponytails.
No.
these little girls with pigtails.
You know what
I
is
don't know.
more of a story? If you went on and you saw a rat tail.
Yeah.
If you saw somebody with a rat tail or a mullet, like
Yeah.
a straight, like short and with a mullet going,
Yeah.
now that's something.
Or
No,
two
but-
people who have braided their hair together like Avatar style.
Yeah.
Something like that. You're like, they're just connected. Oh, there was a time last
doing
fall, I got onto a subway car and it was empty, kind of empty-ish, and I was like, oh, this is good luck. But I got in and I realized why it was empty. It smelled like someone took a shit. And then it was just like all-encompassing. It was the dirtiest.
Someone probably did.
Someone probably took a shit there, and like I was like, as soon as the next stop, I got out and had to go sit with all the other people.
That will happen.
And I felt like, oh man, I fucked up. I could have just.
So
You could have just shit.
I should have just shit.
Like you could just.
If I
shit.
take my own shit there, then I could have
You
just
could be like,
I could have fit in maybe.
I guess we're all shitting.
I would have adjusted to the smell.
Yeah,
level,
I'm gonna
you know?
combat there. I'm gonna mark my territory.
So here's the thing. The thing that had opened up my eyes to this was that you see a lot of weird people. You see a lot of people of different backgrounds and all that shit. But the one thing they have in common is they all have to coexist on the fucking train. So you'll have some weirdos here. You'll have transgenders there. You'll have things, but they all got to coexist.
But you look around, right? Like when you get on
Yeah.
a bus or a subway, like
Yeah.
when you get on, like even on a platform,
Yeah.
like, and I'm not an edge guy. Like I'm a
some edge
wall
guys.
leaner. Like I don't want to be anywhere near that ledge.
Yeah.
Because who knows, right? But I'm like, I look around and I'm like, I could pull somebody off the tracks if like they went down there. Like, do you think like that? Or like if you get on the train and you get on and like you're there, but you're like looking around and you're like, if something goes down, like they're with me, right? Like this guy's probably got my back. I got his back. He looks like he's all right. Like, you know what I mean? Like
last night
I'm
there
already,
was
like,
a
kinda like,
fight
if
on the
something went
subway.
down, I would probably look at a guy and be like,
Yeah.
you know, like you're with me, right? Like let's handle this.
Last night there was almost a fight on the subway, but I didn't see it until it was almost over. Basically, there was this old man, like a shopping cart kind of guy with all his stuff, and he was
vagrant?
perving out apparently on some like young girl, and then this like Russian dude, like shaved bald head, and I have my
You
head,
want the girl $50?
No, it was like because he was like, you don't talk to women that way, and he was like beating his chest, and he was pissed,
Politely?
but like not politely. He was gonna bash this.
No,
old
I mean we
dude's-
don't talk to women politely.
No, you don't talk to women that way.
The
Like
Russian guy was being a
The old
Gentleman.
dude was being a perv, right? He was saying some terrible stuff.
Alleged.
Well, I had my headphones in, so I'm only catching the end of
Hashtag
this.
sex allegation.
But, like, but
allegations
I got up to help the old guy at first because I just turn around and see this old guy about to get his brain smashed in, and I get up and go, "Hey, what's up?" And then like, I take my headphones out,
Hey,
and then he comes. He's like, "Don't worry, he was not being man," like he just like,
Nice.
and then
What is this? Like Seinfeld, man. Ukraine?
like he was pretty thick Eastern European accent. I don't know exactly where he was from, but yeah, and then he kind of like did the whole like
Oh, you didn't ask him. Be like, where are you from, Charlie?
I didn't want to get too much into it. He was like, but then he kind of like did that thing where I think he had to feel that like pressure from everybody else who didn't know the whole situation
To explain
because
it.
he kind of like explained it to the circle of people.
What happened to the old perv?
He was kicked off, so he made sure he didn't get. He
The
kicked-
Russian kicked him
He
off.
pushed him off the subway, and they stopped the subway, and that's when I got up and was looking around.
They
Going
stopped
like,
the subway specifically to get him
Yeah, it
off?
was at the very back, so the driver was watching the whole thing on the subway. So it was like, and he wasn't going to let go until this was all solved, basically, apparently. And I got up going like, well, maybe I can help because I wasn't sure who at the time was at
What
fault.
were you going to do?
He was gonna punch the Russian guy.
I would've-
Russian.
Punch old people.
and then I become the asshole. Like I'm
So
the-
it's you and an old guy against a
But I'm
fairly
just-
large
That's what-
Eastern
that-
European.
But then I'm saying by
potentially
the
Russian.
time I got up and into the situation, it was already kind of solved, and I realized that it was the old perv man.
See, that's where I wouldn't take sides. I'd be like,
No, just like when you you look at these guys.
Is there fuckery here?
You look at these guys.
What's the fuckery?
I looked at these guys at first without having any idea what was being said because I had headphones in. So I was like, well, it looks like to me an older, weak man and a tall, bald, jacked Russian dude. So I think the old man needs me. And
Yeah, he was there.
and that's where it is. And then I didn't realize that like if I would have had my headphones out, I would have. Maybe that's another
You know
thing.
what though? He did need you.
Yeah. He could have used
But
me.
you see this.
Regardless of the situation, I guess he
Uh,
could have used your help.
See, the thing is, what I'm saying is the situation that he's in, and just me taking the thing, is that I feel that the world.
I told you, some dude tried to grab my junk.
Yeah, you've been through. Yeah, what I'm saying is the world,
crazy, right?
or the train, or just taking a train, is like a micro level of what the world is going through right now. You got different fucking people trying to coexist, and you know what the main problem? Here's the thing. Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. In the world right now, everybody's telling each other, "Hey, don't fucking do that. Be that way. Do all that shit." On the TTC and on transit, everyone's like, "Stay in your lane. Don't cause shit. Be in your own little thing."
We've
Just-
talked about
you're
this
on the ride.
before about where you're just gonna do your thing.
Yeah.
Where I might get involved. And
That's-
Kirk's
that's
helping
your
out
option. That's your
old
option.
people
Yeah.
to fight a burly Russian
Yeah.
or whatever.
He was about to punch the fucking other guy, man.
I had a clear shot at the back of his head too if I wanted it.
Do you like? Is it gonna be a thing where you're gonna hit him and it's gonna be like, and
It's
he
gonna-
turns around and you're like, ah, shit.
It's gonna be what's that one movie where like he hits like someone has like a metal thing or something and hits them and just,
Plate
like,
in the head. Yeah.
yeah, plate in the head. Just like hits the back
It's
and
like,
it's
why
like
you tickle me?
Oh yeah, and every time the microwave goes off, he pisses himself. No, that's Christmas Vacation.
oh, I'm thinking of
Yeah.
like maybe like Goon. Do you ever see like Goon
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
like he
yeah,
punches
yeah,
a guy
yeah,
and it's like his hand just crumples.
Yeah.
He's like unpunchable.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
So Kevin, what? Okay, we're talking about the TTC.
I don't want to go into that, but what I'm talking about is the
why
whole,
are we talking about
the
it?
reason why I'm thinking is that I think people in general, and here's the thing, I'm trying to talk more up
Well,
to
hang
the.
on, Khalid, you don't take TTC as much anymore.
There you go. But here's the thing. That's what I think the general consensus of people that are not taking it. They're like, I don't want to mix myself with the low class, with the.
What about the business people who
civilians.
hop on at 8 a.m. and or whatever? And
No.
Oh, my
It's
problem is the bums. The bums are the biggest issue.
well, there's a lot of bums.
Yeah, the bums.
Yeah, I got a.
But how do they get on?
I
Where
got
are
a
they
co-
going?
I don't know. Just
Are they
The thing-
on the subway or are they just around?
You know what I know what happens is that they like it's almost like the TTC like the turnstile people
They don't
are
give a
just like
shit.
they're like that's too much for me to handle. So they'll just get on the subway and ride around and just bother people.
This is where things have changed, man. Like I remember 17, 16 years old or whatever, like me and a couple of buddies were meeting somebody, and I think I maybe told the story before at Christie Station. and shit hit the fan with a couple other dudes, man. And like my buddy threw a guy into a ticket transfer machine, like tried to throw him down the stairs. Like there was a fight. Like we were fighting. The ticket person was like, "I'm calling the police if you don't leave now." And like it broke it up. Like we all scattered and like ran, right? Christy Pitts right there. Yeah. They went their way, we went our way. Cops showed up, we saw like police cars show up. But I mean, nowadays, I guess maybe they do the same shit. I don't know.
I guess maybe it gets out of hand. Well, I guess my example happened a straight fight to me about a month ago.
Cops, but there
was a crackhead who started talking to me on the King streetcar going towards the subway.
That was the best.
And so my plan was if he followed me, he was like,
but do you want him not to talk to you, or does it help pass?
Well, I didn't know what this guy was all about, and then I was gonna buy him his subway token, right? I was like, yeah, I'll just buy you a token or whatever it is, and then the debit machine didn't work, so I was like, well, sorry, man, see ya, and I thought I'd lost him at that point, but then he just followed me, and the ticket person didn't say shit. They're just like, he just walked through anyway, didn't pay, and I'm like, oh great, now I have a crackhead following me home.
That's fucking life.
So I was like, I had to shake the guy from there. I had to switch lines, like I just duck the guy because he was like kept following me and he wanted money, and I'm like, fuck, why couldn't that person just done their job? Because I was like, I was nice enough to like offer the token if I bought it for him, but then he kept like, his thing was like, well, we'll just go to the next station then, I guess, right? And I'm like, no, I think this is the end of the road. I offered and it didn't work, so I'd like to go home now if you don't mind, kind of thing. And I'm like,
listen,
yeah.
The politically correct version, and most people will agree, is people have problems in this city, and it's good that you were trying to help.
Yeah, I just was like, I felt like up to that point, I'm like, you can't expect too much more out of me. But then in like a crackhead's mind, it's like, well, I'm in it for whatever you got, So it's
the humorous version would be to treat him more like an animal and turn around and say, stop, stay, sit.
Well, no, it was more or less I went up the stairs and I kind of hid around a corner and basically I went the other direction. I went up the stairs and then spun around and then went to the went towards.
So you had an encounter. So Kevin feels good when he rides it because he feels like he's above it.
No. So here's the thing.
He feels more human.
No. Okay, let me think. Is because I hadn't been on it for a while, I felt very, very detached from it. I was like, this is beneath me. Why am I doing this? Why am I waiting in the fucking cold? Why does it take me 20 minutes to get from this part of the city to this part of the city when I can hop on my car and it takes me 5 minutes? Like it just really got to me. But then you know what? I realized the humbling part of taking public transit, and this is why the reason why I think everyone should eventually, like, I think people should start taking it more, is because then you really get to feel like I almost got to feel like what it's like to be in other people's shoes for the people that have to take it, right? Like my mom, she actually has to take it. Like she doesn't have a driver's license. She has to take the transit system. She has to use it. And no, she does. No, cost-wise, no, it's cheaper. Listen, here's the thing. Not from fucking Scarborough. Listen, here's the thing. What I'm saying is there's a lot of people that have to do it, and a lot of people that have to put up with the craziness and the weirdness and the thing. So what I'm saying is that, you know what? Going on a ride on the train is like being able to put on other people's shoes. See what it's like. It's humble. No, man, I'm telling you, man. Like when I was there, like standing, I'm like, you know what? Fuck, if I had, let's say I lost it all. Let's say I lost the car. Maybe I couldn't walk anymore.
I've thought about this.
Maybe I hit rock bottom, right? Okay, fine. Maybe I can still walk. Maybe I can still walk.
I would say that for my personal experience, to see who gets hassled, if you're looking at like a cross section of people I've noticed who are hassled the most, it's definitely women. Women take the most shit.
Yeah, and you know what? You notice that.
It's like I said, like that. The crackhead guy, the reason he talked to me is because I tried to get him distracted because he was bothering a woman on the streetcar. Like the other guy the other night, old guy, was trying to hit on and say nasty stuff to some young girl. And you see girls just look like kind of like they just zone out. They don't want it. They just know that like they make themselves available. Some weird dude's going to talk to them. So it's like the subway is like...
Excuse me, miss. My eyes aren't very... Runnymede? Would you say to her? All of a sudden it's on. It's like, what?
So if I follow you home...
Yeah.
No, so here's another thing, too. Being on the TTC, it's also getting... Like, because we've talked about...
So what are you saying? What are we talking?
What I'm saying is that when you go and you start doing things that other people do, you start to feel more relatable. Like me being in my car or being whatever, I was not relatable to the average human being.
No, you're relatable to other
was-
people in their cars.
And then I even became different because I started riding a bike, and I was like, look at you guys in your cages. I can go anywhere I want. I can cut between lanes. I can whatever, like whatever. I became very detached. And then what I'm saying is when I got back down to grassroots of having to walk.
That's not what
places,
grassroots means.
This is my fucking grassroots, okay? This is my fucking grassroots, okay? Going back to my listen, I grew up downtown and taking the TTC and fucking 20 minutes here waiting. I did it for like 20 years.
It's Kevin looping back and closing that loop around.
Listen, what I'm saying is that like
Look
what
at all
do you
this
call it?
grass and the
No,
roots.
what I'm saying
It's
is
grassroots.
that when you climb up the social ladder or when you climb up in the world and you're accustomed, it's like here's the thing. People have a problem with Donald Trump. You know why he has issues? He doesn't know what it is to be a normal human being anymore.
I don't have a problem with Donald Trump.
A lot of people have.
Oh my God! The best thing I've been
I have
watching
a
lately
problem with
is
his policies.
the best thing I've been watching lately is that one country star Garth Brooks. He does like YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and he's like the most weird dude because he's like for the last like 30 years he has like no relatable way of talking to people. But he goes
went
on
to like the Texas Rangers spring training like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Big baseball fan.
Oh, okay. No, but like he has these videos where he talks to like his fans, and he's like, we are coming into like the G series, Garth Brooks series of like, and he's just very cheesy and weird, but he's got this like awkward kind of smile and talking to people. Oh man, that's the best. That's way better than anything Donald Trump has ever said in my opinion.
No, but what I'm saying is that a certain thing, like we talked about in a pod before about how I'm not really up to date with the current things that are going in the world. I don't feel very, fucking 78 fucking genders now and fucking things happen and certain social things that are happening in the world. I'm not connected. I'm not fucking connected. And, for instance...
I think you mean you're disenfranchised.
Fine, disenfranchised. But here's the thing: like, there's certain things that are different. So here's the thing: when I was on the TTC, or when I was taking the transit, back in my day, when you had a phone call or whatever, you'd be a little quick and be like, "Listen, I'm a thing right now. I'm gonna go talk." Now I was like 2 or 3 times, people in the middle of a fucking packed train. Guy was just going, "Yeah, man, I fucked that bitch." And, yeah, oh man, fuck it. Like this guy just talking like no fucking. No
See, that's
filter,
where somebody needs to go around and just shut him up.
No, but it happens. It happens so often because now with Wi-Fi being in the trains and being connected and what do you call it? Like
You ever like not
I
have
talked
your
to
phone?
I talked to Murray for like 18 seconds on the train the other night.
18 seconds?
But
That's how you do it. You keep
But
it short.
but it cut out on me. I was gonna talk to him for as long
Oh,
as long as I could because I was like something to do on the train,
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I think because some people don't have Freedom Mobile, and it's not like a good network. But that's like the one advantage you have over everybody else in Toronto is that you can take a phone call or use data. On the
are
subway.
they in the subway?
Yeah, Freedom's the only.
Oh,
one.
good for them.
Freedom's the only network.
I'm with them
apparently.
now, and for the most part, they're all
100
right.
gigs.
Yeah, they're the
No.
they're the only one I think that has some sort of connectivity underground.
They're doing 100 gigs for $60.
I got 13 gigs with no overages. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's 100.
It
It's like
doesn't
it's a
matter.
bucket. It's a bucket for the year. So
Yeah,
it's like
it doesn't
it's like
matter.
it's 100
But
plus.
they don't have any overages, so it doesn't matter if you go over.
No, I mean that is for overages for data though. That's what the 100's for. It's like a bucket.
Yeah.
So basically, like if it's the $50 plan, it's normally 10 gigabytes of data. You get your 10 gigabytes every month, but then you have a bucket of 100 you'd use for the whole year. So like,
Okay,
yeah.
So anyways, I don't want to...
I looked into it. I couldn't get it because I can't
So
change
here's
my plan.
my
now.
question, and this is going to be the question of the night, and because of my experience with this, is this: I personally felt humbled, connected, and I felt very good on the subway, and it kind of like made me connect to other people and just see how the world really operates.
how humans are actually operating.
Yes.
out
So
there.
here's my thing: is no. What do you guys?
Weird that there's no mirrors I can adjust on this.
What do you guys do, or what do you think people should do to like?
who is this person looking back at me?
What do you guys think more people should do to like be connected so they can understand what's going on with other people's lives? How do people be more compassionate, I guess? About
Support
we're-
support local charity.
No,
Like I went to an Easter Seal skate, and it's like a humbling experience.
We don't have to support anything.
No, I'm just saying, like for me, like I went to a thing, like you're saying humbling. I went to an Easter Seals hockey skate for the Maple Leafs at their training center, and it was a lot of the kids there were like Easter Seals
But
kids.
you
So
didn't
they were
do that for the kids. You did that for selfish purposes to
Yeah,
meet
'cause you
Toronto
like the
Maple Leaf
Leafs.
hockey players.
No, but I'm just saying this is the other part of it. I asked also.
That's
I
the
asked.
only reason you did it.
I asked my mom.
Ulterior motives.
I asked my mom to give me $250, thinking she would
don't
say
have
no
to
because
say
I'm an adult. I'm an
I
adult.
wouldn't.
I'm going further, just saying like I'm an adult. I didn't expect to get any money for this, and my mom
But
just
you
paid for
did.
it. But she did it because she's like, well, I haven't donated anything to charity recently this year, so this will be what I'll do if you want me to do that. And I'm like, cool. And I'm just saying when I went there, I didn't think of like right away that there would be obviously like you don't see very many kids in wheelchairs on rinks because that's like they can't skate and they don't have access, right? So it was nice to see all these kids with like certain disabilities ranging from like standard wheelchairs or
it
like
was
kids
nice
in power
to
chairs.
see.
I wouldn't
No,
say
no,
nice.
no.
I'm saying like it's like what Kevin's experiencing with like
It's
it's like a humanizing moment because
It's
you
nice
see,
to see
Yes.
them there with having that experience, right?
yeah. So I'm saying it was like a nice thing.
Not
that-
just a bunch of guys who want to meet
No.
Maple Leafs like yourself.
It was, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, I was like, I couldn't take away that I was a better skater, obviously, or something like that. But, no. There was, it was just like that moment was cool because it was like an event for all types of abilities and they got to have a fun day. And they got to meet people that are like, most people don't
But
get a
did
chance
you have
to
a
meet.
fun day?
Well, I had to go to work, so I took off early.
I'm all for that because I used to do that when I was a teenager, but it was like my hockey team, and we would all raise money like separate or individually or as a team. And if we hit a threshold, we went, and it was Maple Leaf Gardens, right? So I'm dating myself there, right? But and then we would go down, and it was cool because you got to sit in the stands back then. Like we got to sit in the stands and like put our blades on, and then you like walk down to the door and then like go on the ice. And it was pretty cool how they did that. I've also gone other years where like you went in the visitors dressing room and you got ready in there and then you went on, which was cool too. But we were raising money and we skated around and like, I don't remember if maybe there were hockey players there, but it was like not current players. Like it was like ex-players back in the day. I don't know. Or maybe I didn't see any of the new ones or it was always so busy. It was always really busy. But I think that giving to the community is fine. Giving to a good cause. Like I donate a bit of money. I don't have a lot to donate, but I do. I'll flip, Christmas is here and, I'll flip some donations to the Salvation Army, and I donate pretty good money for poppies and like, sick kids every now and then.
Yeah.
I'll donate to pretty much anything a couple bucks. You want to donate $1 for this?
United
yeah,
Negro
sure. You want to
College Fund?
donate? Sure, whatever, man. I'll donate. I'll raise a child in another country if I donate a few bucks if I had it. I don't, but I would. The only place I won't donate now is a cultural arts center on Queens Quay West in Toronto. That I'll leave nameless. They deserve nothing. They should just go out of business. But
Yeah, it's almost
look
like,
it up.
what are
Everybody
they-
can see it, right?
what
It's
are-
right down there, right at Lower Simcoe.
What are they even doing?
They're just brutal, horrible festivals. Anyways, not giving them a cent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I think what Kirk is saying, and what I'm horrible at getting my fucking thoughts out. Is like, I think a lot right now in general, in the year 2018, a lot of people are bitching.
Yeah, they're great.
They're complaining. A lot of
People are self-involved too, right?
Self-involved. A lot of people are complaining. They think that they have it so fucking hard, their life, whatever. And then they go on their little Twitter and Facebook and let the world know. Here's my thing. I think people need to do more. They need to get out there and look at the people around them. And here's the thing. When you go out in the world and you realize there's people that are way more fucked up than you and having it way more harder than you, and you look at them and you realize that shit,
You know what people need, man?
you humble that shit, man.
And I
get
agree
humbled.
with you to a point, but what I think people can do,
Like, I see
which
so
is
many people
better,
in
is like
wheelchairs, man. Fuck.
you can.
They just let them live. If you know they got a problem, just take the kid out of his misery.
No.
Should I not be saying this shit?
Yeah, I don't know. This is good right now. We were going a different direction.
No, we want to be compassionate towards the ones that.
More work and stress.
That's what
Listen,
makes our
Khalid-
society actually a good thing. Technically, we look out for people who are less fortunate or unable to take care of themselves.
Before that very
Yeah.
informative.
Just to be clarified, Khalid has been smoking, and Kirk. I mean, Khalid,
Which is
on any other
which
day,
is legal.
Kirk, on any other day. I mean, Khalid, on any other day. You know my things. I'm all about the survival of the fittest. I'm all about genetic
Clearly.
superiority. You know, we've done this before, but at the
we've
same
had that
time,
podcast. Yeah.
we've done a pod about this. But at the same time, reality speaking wise, is that listen. The people that are in this world now, because we don't do genetic pre-screening and things that I'd
Well,
like to
what are
propose.
we? Okay, we're kind of.
No, what I'm saying is that there's people in this world right now that have it hard.
You talked about something, and then right at the end, just threw in wheelchairs.
No, because here's the thing.
Like just a Hail Mary
because
kind-
here's my
and
thing.
wheelchairs. So many people
listen,
in wheelchairs.
I don't want to
It's
trigger.
like,
I don't want to.
That's like so many convenience
Here's the thing.
stores. Like,
I don't want to trigger the wheelchair association or the people in wheelchairs.
Doesn't exist.
But here's my thing. No, listen. There's
wheelchair.
Listen.
association.
Everyone has a fucking club now. But here's
If
my
you're
thing.
part of it,
If
okay.
you're part of the W,
everybody has a club.
Everybody has a club.
Why?
If you're part of the
Trans-
WCA, please don't.
Here's the
disregard
thing.
So
what we
basically,
say.
you're saying the club is a disability where they have to have a wheelchair.
Pretty
That's
sure
putting
there's
them
a
in
club.
the club.
I'm pretty sure there's a wheelchair association.
There probably is.
Wheelchair organization. But here's my thing.
Like those basketball teams.
Like a motorcycle club.
Yeah.
They're the ones that got all your pop tabs from your.
But what I'm saying is that, like, what do you call it? If you think you have it bad, if you think your life is going and it sucks for you or whatever, just look around.
But is that what it's about? Is it about your life sucks, or is it about people
no,
like
it's
you
about
said?
realizing that your life
but like
doesn't
you
suck
said,
because
man.
someone else's does.
But what? Okay, there's two things you were talking about. Is
Yes.
that, and then there was the whole people are just entranced by their phones and their heads are down in their Twitter and their Instagram, and
Yes.
like this is what they believe real life is, right? and like
that's
it's
what it
not
is.
that.
They believe
And like
that.
I think what like, and I, you know what,
They're
I have a hard time
detached,
doing
like,
it too.
Like I was. They're
and you know
detached.
what? I had a really hard time doing that when I was working,
Yeah.
like in my last job, because
Yeah.
like I was tied to that phone. You know what I mean? I was tied to it. Now, fuck, man, I'll actually go. Like I'll forget my phone and go to the store
Oh yeah.
and like realize like I don't have my phone.
And that's when I try to text you like 6 times.
And that's pretty good. But
Yeah.
what people can do, and like surprisingly probably have a really good time doing it, is like if you go out with somebody like a friend or whatever, leave your phones at home for 4 hours.
I agree.
Don't
There needs to
purposely
be
don't
a-
bring your phone. Just be like, you know what? We're gonna go, whatever. We're gonna go to the mall, or we're gonna go here.
Yeah.
Leave your phone in the car.
You know what's weird? You ever like
Leave your cell phone in the car charging. Like just leave it at home. Like
Khalid, as a millennial, have you ever had this where like you're
But it's like a refreshing break of like just like there's no you sit down to have like a coffee or a snack. There's no pull out your phone and read the news or.
Kids have an emergency.
No, that's different, man. That's different. I'm more talking about like a younger generation without kids. Leave the
Millennials.
phone. But they sit across from each other.
Yeah.
How about
A 23-year-old kid
an old
does
school
not need the
How
phone.
about that? Just get an old school phone. You still
Yeah, I feel like I always have my phone, but like I'm really good at not just looking at it all the time.
See, I can't help myself. I'll
Like-
start reading the news.
Like
you
I
know?
was
I'm
actually like
man,
praised at my last job at a phone store because even that's kind of ironic. You're like my manager was like, I like the fact that you're always able to greet customers without having to take your eyes away from your phone because he's like everybody else
Is on their
stares
phone.
at their phone.
well, because that's what they're allowed to.
well, I mean like he says is like this at our job it was technically no. Even though like you work at a phone store and you have to sell phones and you have to know how phones work.
But they do anyways.
But like he said, it looks really bad, and I like that you don't do it as much as everybody else does. Like I see you check your phone maybe like 4 or 5 times. a shit.
checking and sitting on it.
Yeah, but these other people just like will lean and just sit there and look at their
what
phone.
else they doing? Nobody's around.
But like I don't know.
But I disagree. Like if there's no business
no, but this is what
and
I'm
there's
saying.
nothing for you to do, like your job's basically just waiting for somebody to walk up to you.
Yeah,
And there's
Well,
nobody walking up. Like, would
we
you
were-
rather
we
me
were
just sit
busy
there
enough
and
where I'm
stare
probably-
off into the distance?
No, I mean I guess I'm saying we were busy enough where you could still talk to like at least 4 or 5 people in an hour, and each interaction.
Yeah, but in
go-
between that, use your
and
phone.
each
Yeah.
thing goes to like whatever. But like I think it was more or less because he's like if you're a salesperson, like it's like if you, it means it just shows from the get go that you're attentive. At least that's kind of what Ali was saying.
had a
And I don't
job.
know. It was like, and because I think I had this like weird feeling like I couldn't just be on my phone, because then like I'm like most people, like I get into it. If I start playing a game or I look at like a
Whoa.
video.
See, I
So
wouldn't
to
be
me,
playing
it's like-
games. I'd be like reading shit, like stuff you
Yeah.
can put down.
For
right?
me, it's like I just knew that like, okay, well I can't. I guess I learned to not just check it all the time, but I was like kind of like
you know,
in
we're not
that,
gonna
that
be
mode.
Like, oh man, just give me a second, bro. Just drop my hay spell.
Yeah.
You know, like
No, my thing was just like, okay, well I
That's
know for sure. The reason I don't do it is that I would get too involved in it, and so
but that's you.
that's me. But then I saw the people do the same sort of shit, and they didn't seem to care. They're just like in it, and they're just like,
No, they don't care.
yeah, I know, but like, well, we made commission at least, so it was like worthwhile that I would, For
Well,
me, in
I'm
the end.
lost a little bit now. Like, yeah, you didn't do it. Other people did. Nobody seems to give a shit. Your manager said it's good that you don't, but the other people didn't get punished.
No, but he was always telling them to stay off their phones. So it was like he looked down on them. He was like kind of mad about it.
I look up at you, Kirk. It will serve you no purpose, and your days are much longer because you're not looking at your phone.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was my. So the thing is, what have you experienced lately where you're like, life is life? What experience have you had recently where you're like, fuck, my life's actually not bad. I'm doing all right.
I was looking at all my stuff, and I was like, wow, I got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
No, because I feel like a lot.
Nothing.
You need to drive. You need to go on the TTC, man. Just take a
Nothing.
fucking
People
ride.
say I'm depressed.
Go on. Oh, you think you're depressed, dude? Wait till you take a fucking wait. In
I should
line,
go on the TTC.
Get on a fucking train.
No, because you
Sit
know what?
down with the
you
fucking
could just look
weirdos.
at people and be like, you know what, man?
You know what?
Maybe you got it figured out.
You know what? I don't know when the last time you were
Maybe
on there.
maybe this is fun. Maybe this is what you could do. Like you
look
just
at the different people.
think about no responsibility, Kevin.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. You don't answer to anybody at
Fucking
any
dream.
point
That's a fucking dream.
every day.
Love it. I would love to do that.
But like I'm not like because a lot of the people that are extreme have psychological disorders
Yes.
and heavy addictions to drugs or alcohol. So
Yes.
this is why. But if you're not that guy and you're like, well, shit, like I could just live a certain way and just shun it all and take little jobs or whatever.
Yeah.
If you didn't want certain things, you could get by minimally,
Yeah.
be perfectly happy.
Live off the land. Yeah. I wouldn't do fucking.
Well, not live off the land. That's becoming like a farmer.
Yeah.
And if you mean like live off the land, like a homeless guy, like eating out of
yeah,
garbages,
vagabond. Just like little
that's not a
slow.
homeless guy.
Just take the trains.
or what are
That's a hobo.
the people
Yeah,
on people on the frontier?
No, what are they called? Homesteads.
Um,
No. My thing is.
The good old homestead.
Yeah. No. I just feel like because on this pod we've gotten triggered. We've made a lot of judgment calls. Like we feel we've made like we judge people sometimes. And I think when I rode the TTC, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna judge that person with the 7 bags or the fucking ponytail. I'm not gonna judge him.
Yeah, well, you don't want to know what's in them though.
But
What's in your bags?
I can judge
Fish
a lot
heads.
of people. I can. Oh, there's nothing wrong.
Why
Just saying-
Stop yourself from judging someone with a ponytail. Why?
No, we went through a whole thing where we
was
judged
he like
people
an
with
older
ponytails.
guy with a ponytail where he's like
No,
balding
that's
in the
man
front?
bun.
This is not a man bun.
That is a man
What's
bun.
worse, a ponytail or a man bun?
A man bun.
Okay, there
know
we
what's
go.
worse?
We have a call out.
What it's called
there.
a skullet, which is like the balding, the
skillet?
balding in the front and the ponytail at the very back.
No,
Those are pretty
I seen that. Yeah. But no, what I'm saying is that
If anybody out there thinks ponytail or man bun,
yeah, let us know.
let us know.
Or just call it an updo. Until you see a guy
Yeah.
go like, I like that updo you got.
But
Pretty nice.
yeah, that was my experience. I think it really I think
We've
from
been
time.
talking about this, yeah.
No,
for a
I
bit.
think because that's the thing. I think from time to time, sometimes you get a little arrogant. You get a little. Maybe sometimes you get a little full of yourself. You get a little like fuck. Maybe Like because
You lack empathy.
sometimes you start to lack empathy. I think I started.
Well,
to lack
generally,
empathy.
yes, and I agree. That comes with leveling up, and
Yeah, that's the
you
thing.
know, you didn't have a bike, you got a bike. You know,
Yeah.
you went from and you took TTC,
Yeah.
and then you got a car, and you stopped riding a bike, and then
Yeah.
you got a motorcycle. Or
Do you
then
see a lot
got
of sad
car.
kids? Like Kevin every day sees sad kids looking at motorcycles, and he's like, "I wish they could be like me one day."
Yeah, but it happens
No,
more
you know what-
often with work, right? Like somebody you could work with.
Yeah.
Like somebody, you know, could be a cool dude, right? Or like you could think
Yeah.
like, oh, and then but power corrupts.
Yeah.
You
But,
know, so like, you know, that's the way it is, right? You could start
Yeah.
off at like an entry level position with somebody, and then if you stay, you know, you both level up, but if he goes a little bit higher,
Yeah.
and then eventually it's like you don't know the guy, right?
No, like I told
Like,
you about how
it can corrupt people. Like they can actually just that's it.
No,
that's not the person you knew.
I told you
and
you
it's
about
not
how
responsibility. It's actually them being poisoned
yeah.
with power. Like they believe they're better than you in every aspect of everything.
There's,
and they're, you know, at that point,
There's a famous psychological experiment where it was like college students, and they were like in an assessment where they're told that like, okay, there's 5 or so many of you that are prison guards, and there are 5 of you that are prisoners. And they start out going, this is kind of whatever. This is like no difference between us. But by the end of the experiment, the prison guards took all the power they had over the prisoners, even though it was fake, to like heart, and they were cracking down on them. They were being jerks. They were like doing like, you know, weird shit to them. And these people who were the prisoners just felt like so like, you know, like terrible and afraid. And they were like, the power was held over them. Like, but it was all just like an assessment. It was never real.
no, I know. I've seen studies where they've done it.
That's what happens. They say like power will corrupt people. If you give someone absolute power, people tend to.
Well, they've done it,
use
and I saw the one with the cookies where they were like 5 people or whatever, and they told
Yeah.
one person in each group.
Yeah.
Like they didn't tell anybody else. Like they just told him, "You're the leader of the group," or whatever your thing is, and like they all went in, and they're like, they brought in like 7 cookies, and there was like 2 leaders and everybody else, and then everybody took a cookie. It's the person who thought was a leader who took the extra cookie. That was like,
it's all human psyche.
you know what? Nobody else grabbing this. I'm gonna grab it because like eventually, because they made them sit there for a while.
Yeah.
But it was like to break them into like who's gonna do what? Is it gonna be like a normal person who's gonna be like if nobody's gonna eat that? But it was like the guy, the leaders, or the person who's like supposed to be the team leader, was the one grabbing it. And they're like, he thinks he's more important than everybody else, so he takes the cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I was I was gonna say before about how like sometimes like I think it is very easy to get your head blown up. Like I remember what do you call it? Like I was working one time, and there was like this kid, 17-year-old, and he's like he drives like a Toyota Corolla, whatever. Like the kid's working, he's a hard worker and all that shit. And he sees me coming in, and like, you know, some days I come in on my Mustang, some days I come in on my my Harley. I'm like kind of fucking and he came up to me after work. He's like, "Oh man, fuck man, I want to." In a way,
Well,
he
he's
was
an
kinda
impressionable youth.
That's the thing. He was impressionable, and he was like, "Man, fuck, man, you're cool."
But would you
man."
say he should live your life?
No? Because here's the thing.
Well, this is my point.
Here's the thing, because I know the realities of like what it took to fucking get there, and not only that, but the headache to fucking keep it up, the constant like fucking.
Did you let him know that though? Like it's like
No, that's the thing. See, I think if I was irresponsible, I would have been like, "Yeah, I got it made. I'm fucking cool, whatever." But I'm like, "Hey, man, like, listen, man, this is a V6. It's not what you think." No. But
well, you can say like, yeah, it's like, and this is like seems cool, but like it takes a lot of like took a lot of work to get here, and it takes a lot of like me being responsible to keep it.
Yeah,
because you can like it's like because this could have fucked over my.
No, and-
There's a
credit.
lot of people that look at people out there, like
Yeah.
Kevin is saying,
Yeah.
and they think they want that, but they don't. Like they don't understand everything behind the scenes.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, like they don't understand. Like you might see a guy who's driving like a nice Porsche or a Range
Yeah.
Rover, or like you know, with a sick suit and looking real sharp. You know, nice spiffy. You know.
Yeah.
Great job. You're like, well, shit, like that's $120,000 car or whatever. But you don't see behind the scenes that, you know, he's got a broken home and his wife hates him and left him and his kid doesn't talk to him.
And he hasn't been
you
hard
know,
in
he's
months.
a raging alcoholic and he can't get it up because of stress. You know what I mean? And like there's all these little issues, and like he's, you know, become and because of the power of having over, people at his company, he's crazy. Like, he has lost empathy for the world, and people go, but that's the kind of guy I want to be like.
But
and it's
see-
like, you have no idea what you want
that's
to
the
be.
thing. That's also a
You
social.
have no idea.
That's also a social media issue too, because at the end of the day, like, this guy is, like even if you go to my Instagram, I fucking got me lifting fucking weights, driving motorcycles, doing fucking cool shit. Because I only put top tier
Yeah,
shit on
people
there.
are only putting.
But
shit
you
on
don't
there.
know that. Listen, man, fucking like 5 years ago, I was in a fucking parking lot with a busted fucking car, no job, and fuck, what am I gonna fucking do? Fucking nuke the heart. I had my heart nuked at that time. Like, I wasn't.
Well, $20 is $20.
I was close. I was fucking close. But
How many times does 5 cents get you $20?
I don't know, but what I'm saying is that, like, I've had shit times, and now that I'm in better, I'm not saying that I'm by far I'm not living my best life, as they say. But I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying things. I'm taking life a little bit more.
I saw, and I'm not knocking this person.
Yes.
Because they're successful in the world of followers.
Okay, is this an Instagram person?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it made the news, and I was watching the news, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god! And even the person talking about it on the news was like,
Who is this person?
a girl, like, apparently, like, has like the most followers on Instagram.
Was she?
Took a break.
Okay.
Said she's taking a break from Instagram for personal reasons due to stress. Yeah. And like, she's an Instagram model or whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. And I get that. And I'm sure she has her own stresses. But come on. Like, come on.
But again, you don't know what's going on
but
behind.
I fully, totally understand.
Maybe she's
that.
getting.
But
yeah.
she posted she made a post
Yeah.
for her fans or her audience.
Who is this fucking
I can't remember her name.
Fuck.
But to say,
Caitlyn Jenner?
I'm taking a break.
Or one of the Jenners?
Not
Sorry,
because
not
of
Caitlyn.
you, because of me. It's a me thing.
Right.
Due to the stress of this,
Like,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Of upholding this.
I kind of noticed that from like YouTubers
And
stuff
it's cool.
recently, so.
Like, that's fine. Everybody has a breaking point. But
Yeah.
it's like, what do you really do that could be so stressful for you? And I'm not judging anybody like that.
That's
I'm
the
saying,
thing.
what could it be? This is how you got famous, is taking pictures of yourself.
Well, it possibly is the stuff like you're saying.
Or
There's
taking
like
videos
there's
of
like with
pictures.
every person, there's more going behind the scenes than
Right,
you realize.
but come
What if
on.
this is like a girl who's struggling with her weight and her look?
She's not.
Well, I'm saying what if she is. What if she's someone who's like, we don't know, but she did barely eats and like her exercises too much.
No, she said she's exhausted from just.
No, I'm saying
her
there
profile or
could be
whatever.
there could be more reasons than we know. Like it's just like or just like
or what about these people who
or just like having to
I need
stay
a break and they
engaged.
take like 5 days off of Twitter or Instagram, and then they come back, and it's like people make a big deal saying, "Oh, they're back, come back."
Kanye
They're
always
like,
comes
I'm
back.
and it's like,
Yeah.
but you just left like
Yeah.
last week,
Yeah.
and now you're back, and your head's right. I don't think so. It's very.
You know what it is? I think
you're not right.
I think in 2018, I think it's very easy for people to become like the Wizard of Oz. And I'm not talking about the
But is that the world? Because, or maybe, like, have I just lived such a fucked up life where, like, I expect you to take a lashing before you say, like, my job sucks? You know what I mean?
No,
or, like, your life has to really be in the shitter before you're like, all right. Maybe there's something going on here. Like, maybe I'm the one who's, experienced a lot of weird shit.
Yeah.
Where other people are just like, no, you shouldn't have to deal with any of that. Which is the way I see a lot of these softies on social media.
Well, there's a lot of
where,
softies.
like,
Yeah. I think maybe people
the
nowadays
real world starts to encroach, and it's like, whoa.
Do you
Like,
think people
I need a
nowadays don't really they want everything to be a certain way and they almost are incapable of dealing with these problems?
like a celebrity trying to diet on like, $300 a month.
Yeah, I think it's like people now because they
They
don't
can't do
people
it.
want to deal with as little adversity as possible and they kind of get away with it, and then essentially that makes you like unable to deal with these big crises or big moments in life when it's almost like instead of taking it head on, and like most people like struggle and have those things, and it doesn't make you weaker, it makes you stronger, the fact you got through it. But if people just push it away and avoid it and make it seem like that's never going to happen to me, and they live this life where they're just like delusional to the point that like I can never do like make
many
myself get
people-
stressed out, it probably does make you a weaker person, really. Think
So,
about it.
but knowing that, how many people do you think want to emulate them?
Oh, a lot.
Too many.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that a problem?
Yep, that's the whole issue with social media is that people see things in a certain light. They think that that's what real life is, and so they try to emulate. And then when they fall short, because truly that's not obtainable, that's when life fucking hits you in the face, and you realize, oh fuck, and then it becomes a mental fucking like what the fuck, right? So, yeah, the whole system is. People are not only soft, but people are aiming for shit that's just fucking
Like impossible to attain.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I have this one friend who's always posting pictures on his Harley Davidson motorcycle and deadlifting like what, like 692 pounds?
315.
315. Oh, it's not you then. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
There's some other guy who can lift 600.
Douchebag.
Sounds like a dude.
like a millennial needs to fucking get his shit together, you know. But
But he looks good doing it, as I'd say that.
No.
See, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Instagram and all that. 'cause
I think
I'm
it's
not
like-
on
it's like-
Instagram.
I think it's one of those things where it's surface level. It looks really vain and like it's simple, but maybe there is some stuff there because like I've heard that how they make their money in those models. It's not just like followers. It's like
sell products.
yeah, it's
companies.
promoting stuff.
Yeah.
Like they have to go there and like in every single video.
But they
or
didn't get
think-
that right off the bat. They
Oh, no,
got
no.
that after they had a substantial amount of people following them, and then it's like, okay, now they make a deal. And especially for somebody who's not known for anything other than that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's the other? Like, Kim Kardashian had sex, man. Like, that's how she got famous. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's a weird thing. Also, I think like still like if you're like an influencer or like an online creator of anything, some people have like the numbers of like millions and millions of eyeballs every day to the extent where it's basically on par with a movie star or a television star or something like that or a musician.
yeah.
But like but they're still not paid in the same way. They're paid a lot less technically.
Yeah, well, it's a different kind of.
different.
format.
It's like, but they almost have like a direct way of advertising and marketing something to some people directly that I don't think other people do in like movies and stuff. Like in movies and stuff, it's like they have to say if they're doing it. You know, like it's like paid promotion by Sony or whatever, right?
Oh, don't
so
get me
I
started about movies.
I just feel like I think that's like I've heard that's sort of a thing. Maybe it's
Yeah.
like maybe that's their only way of making income is by like hawking shit basically. Then it's like the stress to make that hawk that shit is like especially with YouTube or getting like promotions or
Well, YouTube's a bit different.
yeah. So
but
I think like getting those people.
my impression is that, especially what I was talking about was a fairly young girl, good looking, who has generated her, her brand using her body and using whatever has gotten
Instagirls.
huge to primarily impressionable young girls or men, right? And just the stresses of that lifestyle, and she needs a break.
yeah.
And it's like, cool, I don't know what all those stresses are, but I got to be honest.
I know you have your
You're
doubts.
pretty
but
young to be taking a break from
I've-
what seems to be
Listen,
a pretty easy gig.
listen.
There's some guy
Like,
named
you think
Kevin
she's
who's
waking
always
up-
dropping in her
Like,
DMs.
yeah, you think
know?
she's waking up at 5 a.m. and slugging it through the snow to her bus stop
No, but
to make it
listen,
to her job 2 hours away across the city?
Who knows? Like
to make
again,
minimum? No.
Being an Insta girl or whatever, who knows? Maybe she's getting so much D that like
I like this is exactly where he goes.
Drama. You think it's drama with dudes, eh?
yeah.
Depression. So much
Yeah.
What?
depression and dramatic moments.
You know what? In a way, I kind of agree that because they're so hot and obtainable, and Instagram is like thing, they can be selective. But it depends. If they're really horny, they can fuck the top tier guys. Instagram dude models
Or The Rock.
or The Rock.
Why would The Rock go? for
'Cause
that
fuck-
person?
Or Vin Diesel. I'm choosing people from the
No,
Fast
see,
and
but this
Furious.
loops back, and I don't know if you were part of those podcasts
Yeah,
before, where it was me, Kevin, and Dimes,
yeah.
where like Kevin looks up to
Instagram girls.
guys that promote a fake lifestyle.
Oh, Dan Bilzerian.
Or whoever that definitely like aren't like, this is not something everybody can accomplish or do. fantasy lives, right?
He's living his best
No,
life.
sure he is. One guy, like whatever. So, but like this is the problem is that Kevin thinks it's an option.
No, but I can have
You
like
know what I mean?
I can
like,
have the cheap
it's not
version.
an option. No, there's no.
You know, I just
It's just
pulled up.
pictures of him with girls.
Yeah,
So just go to a pool party.
maybe that's what I'll do. You know, fucking look like smoking weed, parties, hanging out with Tom Hardy, fucking asses everywhere.
Yeah, well, he's a good-looking dude. You said he
Fuck
has
it.
money, so there you
look,
go.
Feminism, hashtag feminism right there. To clarify, it's a picture of Dan Bilzerian putting a trophy on a girl's ass. But what I'm saying,
we will edit that in for you people watching at home.
yeah. But what I'm saying is that no, listen.
Why are you showing me this guy?
I'm watching it for my own fucking entertainment because I'm
So,
like, fuck that.
yeah.
No,
maybe-
he's a personality, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know what
Yeah.
else he does.
See, I guess we're recording a podcast at the moment, so it'd be good
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, Kevin's like, well, I think
Yeah.
Kevin likes
So
the
Kevin's
guy.
like, you mentioned the guy I like to follow. I'm gonna go look at his
Yes.
pictures.
A guy I like to follow.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the perfect example. This guy.
But no, it's not an example. It is for me about you, where you're looking at a fake person, thinking this can be life, saying I'm not going to settle until I get girls like that, or a guy until I'm going on vacation like that. And that's great to say that, but it's very unrealistic for people. And there's other people out there who look at him and look at other people like that.
Yeah.
And then the girls on Instagram and say like, they get depressed when they're like, well, how can my girlfriend, I can't get a girlfriend. But they can't get a girl like that, or they can't be like that. And they're like, my life sucks. Like, I got to work this job. This guy's got the best life. Like, you know, all he does is go around with these hot chicks, and like, you know, I could do that. And it's like, no, you can't. You're not that guy. Accept your position in life, and it's a fake life.
But here's the thing, because
Don't try to be better.
No, it's not better. Be better, but don't. It's
Don't be
fake.
that good.
It's
No.
fake.
Be the best you.
look, there's a real yes.
I don't like that saying. Where did that saying
What,
come
living
from?
my best
best
life,
you.
or be the best version
Yeah,
of
all
yourself?
of it. It sounds like it came from a vegan.
No, it's like the sort of stuff people have on their walls now, or like,
Yeah, they're hashtag.
Yeah, I know, motivation.
oh fuck
Listen.
that. If I see people with that shit in their house,
When you
I'm
okay, Murray, when you
hang
when you
on.
were growing up, who's the
You know what
person
saying
you
I heard recently, and I really take it, and I'm like, you know what? Be ready. Tomorrow might hit you harder. Be ready.
just be ready.
Now that's a saying I can live with, man, and just be ready, because tomorrow might be shitty,
Yeah.
worse than ever.
Or
And
if you can
ready.
dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
So
But I'm just saying, you know, and it's like you got to get it. You're a Rocky guy, man.
yeah. No, but here's the thing. This guy.
I don't know
he's-
so
he's-
much about the Instagram. That's what
No, no.
Rocky would say.
This
right?
is not Instagram. This is more of a line of when you were coming up. What type of a lifestyle did you have? An idea of a life that you wanted to have, a lifestyle that you
I was
wanted
big
to
into
do.
sports.
Okay, so you wanted to
Yeah,
become.
and then I was like, yeah, maybe I'll move to LA.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was dreaming, man. I was like 19 years old.
Of course.
You know, and then I drifted. And then, yes,
Yeah.
my mistakes would be like mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
It was just like I was working. I was just like, I wasn't even, it was more just like having fun.
Yeah.
It was like dating, girls, just existing. Where really I should have been like thinking about, you know, like, how am I going to have that yacht?
Right.
What do I need to do that by the time I'm in my mid 30s, this is where I'm at? But nobody thinks like that. People look at things and go, I'd like that, but they don't think about
know-
how am I going to get
Or
that?
what's it gonna take?
What's it
Yeah,
going to take for me to get that?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
if that's daddy's money, then how do I become that guy's dad?
Yeah.
Because that's who I want to be, because he's the one who made the money.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a dad that's going to hand me that.
How do you guys think you're gonna make your money or make your mark?
Right. So because this is kind of where another thing I want to get into is the whole right now, because of social media and all of that. There's almost this like, and there is a market for this. I believe it's actually it's called lifestyle design. It's called lifestyle design.
There is.
So the way it works is that there's people on Instagram where they try to say, you know what, if you who's that guy?
Fake life coach?
No. The guy on YouTube.
Fake life coach with no degrees.
The guy on YouTube who's like, this is my Lamborghini. These are my books.
Yeah, the people walk through a
Ty
fake
Lopez.
house.
Yeah.
He's like, you see this car?
There's
Yeah.
this little girl named Lil Tay.
Get my book.
And Lil
Get my
Tay,
book.
Lil Tay
That's
is
how he's buying these things.
flexes. Have you guys seen Lil?
You buying his
It's not real
book?
though.
Well, here's the thing. These guys are promoting a certain lifestyle. And I think a large percentage of people are falling for it. And they're like, oh, yeah, if I do it, fucking, yeah. But a percentage. That's just,
That's the dumbest person I've ever heard.
that's a percentage of
You
people.
know who he reminded me of there? Have you seen Dumb and Dumber 2?
Oh,
When
no,
the dream sequence when Harry's in the house.
Oh, no, I've only
And
seen the
then-
beginning of it. I never see the whole thing
Oh,
yet.
and Jim Carrey's coming up the street and he's
I-
like wearing a tutu and fucking like one ski and he's like, Mr. Dunn, Mr. Dunn.
To me, it sounded like.
Oh,
from-
yeah. It was the dream sequence.
To me, it sounded like Special Ed
And he
from
like
Crank
eats
Yankers.
garbage.
Yeah.
He like eats garbage and leaves.
Uh,
You guys, that was Goonies. No, what I'm saying is that a lot of people promote this lifestyle that if you do this, if you buy this product, if you take these pills, if you do this, you will have this type of lifestyle.
Of course,
And then
but-
they use Instagram to
but
promote
it's not.
it.
But see, here's the thing. Like everybody knows. Like years and years ago. Like I remember, man, my buddy, he bought. And some of you might remember this. Something called the Ab Flex.
Yeah, where you pull.
Yeah,
shit
so it was a
into your fucking
machine
gut.
that you put on your like stomach muscles and you just pushed it in, and it would cause resistance here and like whatever, worked your arm a little bit upper body, and we all were like, oh well, whatever. You know what? It worked for him because it actually does do what it says.
Okay.
It actually does do what it says because it's just resistance. You're actually working the muscle. But if you were to just like half-ass it once a week,
Yeah.
guess what? You're not going to
gonna-
get the results. But he did it every day.
Yeah.
He did it every day. And somebody else that saw that would have been like, I'm going to get it. But then they don't work as hard as him.
They don't realize what it takes. And
I
that's-
remember in college, I had a credit card that got taken away from me. But one of the things I bought was on eBay was a projector that was supposed to turn your TV into a bigger TV, like it would project your TV. It was basically like a film that you put over, like a box you put over your TV with like a light bulb in it that was gonna project your TV. And I spent like $100 on it.
Wow.
And then I got it, and I'm like, oh fuck! Like I was like, that's one of the times I'm like, yeah, I don't know, like I shouldn't.
But there's all
I
this
can
shit.
relate to people who buy stupid shit. So yeah.
Well, it's not buying stupid shit. Like, I mean, that you're like, oh, that's a product I might like. I've done it too, where I'm like, oh man, this looks cool. I get it. And I'm like, this is a pretty piece of shit, flimsy junk. I learned my lesson. But this is a lifestyle that people are selling, right? Somebody is actively sitting there, and like these are ads for the most part,
Of course,
that
money.
are popping up, and it's like, you like my house? What do you do? I do nothing. You know. I was like you once, and it's like you were like me.
Yeah.
You were like me. You were just like me. Oh my goodness! And it's
Yep.
like, how can I be like you? That's a nice suit. You look like you have a nice house. That's a nice car you're sitting on.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got 5 secrets, and I'll tell you these 5 secrets.
$5.99
You know, for free. For free, I'll
The
tell
first,
you all
the
these
first
secrets.
4 are free.
Exactly.
And the 5th one's
exactly.
gonna cost you.
Exactly. I'll tell
Yeah.
you the first 4, and then I ask for a donation for the 5th.
Yeah.
And if you play your cards right, all this will be yours. You just have to have the right mentality and the right timing.
Yeah.
It's all the same scam, man. It's all the same shit. It's like this guy that you like. How do you make his money?
He was the son of a trust fund.
So
business
how
dude,
can this guy?
and
You don't have anything in common with him.
no, I don't. And then he went into the Navy, flunked out of that shit.
He's in shape. I'll give him that.
Whatever.
Like you kick my ass. Kick my ass.
I don't know. I think I can beat him up.
I'm not talking. Hey, you know what? I'm not. This guy is living the life because he can.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking him for that. I'm knocking everybody else who's looking up to him saying, I'm going to be that or I could do that. You can't.
No. Here's the thing.
You can't.
And I think that's the
It's
major.
like go be a Saudi kid,
Yeah.
one of those guys with all the oil money
Yeah.
that got all the Ferraris or the Lambos, all those limited edition cars. You can't.
No.
You don't have that money.
But here's the thing I want to clarify. I think if you think
And
that
you never
can-
will.
I think if you want to be this guy, no, you're kidding yourself. You can't. But if you want to be as happy as he is in those pictures where he's having a good time or whatever, find a version of that works for you.
we could go
So-
out and we could go out
Yeah.
on a night or whatever, and
Yeah.
meet people and have a good time, and somebody can take pictures throughout the course of a night,
Yeah.
and not saying that you're going to be putting a drink on a girl's ass, demeaning her and having some kind of talking shit about feminism.
Yeah.
I'm just saying people are going to be like, oh shit, man, like that guy seems to be having an all right night.
Yeah, of course.
Meanwhile, you'd be like, it was all right.
And meanwhile, I probably spent all of my life savings. But what I'm
just saying,
I know.
appearances.
Yes, and that's another problem with people is that they're keeping up with the Joneses and shit, right? Like that, you know,
people are running debt, man.
and you know what? This kind of ties back to the whole fucking. This is gonna bring back to my whole TTC thing. When I was on the train and I was reliving those.
Back to the train.
Yeah, when I was reliving my my early years of like having to take this thing and and I remember a Metro Pass used to be so expensive, like, oh man, $120 a month, like fuck, like that took a dent. Dude, you know how much I spend on gas? On just gas nowadays? Like a lot. I'm not like 2 times probably.
Yeah.
You're paying for luxury there.
That's the thing. I'm right now I have a lot of luxuries in my life and convenience, but what I'm saying is
if it's 3 a.m. and you got a headache, you can hop in your car and hit the 24-hour shoppers and grab some Advil or whatever and some OJ and be like back up in bed.
Yes.
With some Mr. Noodles or whatever, some chicken soup,
Not
and you're
with
good.
not with
But you know what? If you don't have the car, you're fucked.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
No.
like, shit, what do I do? And I remember, man, like, I get it.
But see, that's what I think,
get it.
and this is what a kind of a thing I want to tell everybody is that I think everybody needs to eventually just take it back.
And everybody who listens to us is like, I drive, so this is great.
No, like look what happened to fucking Rocky. Like I feel like right now, if
Did
I
he
had
drive? He didn't drive.
he eventually drove because he drove that
Later.
that food truck to deliver his restaurant, the van.
No, did he drive?
He had a Harley. He had a Harley in Rocky 3. But here's the thing. I feel like
He had a robot. He had a robot too.
I feel the Rocky saga and series is a lot like life.
Saga.
Mississauga. I feel like it's
Not like the Sega.
yeah. No, I think it's the Rock. It shows like, listen, a lot of people early in your life, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna eat shit. You're gonna be in that and all you want in life is that one shot.
Shit. This is the problem.
You have to.
No,
you
but
have
yes,
to.
and I agree.
You have to eat shit.
Okay, but here's a question, Kirk. You might know this. As Kirk falls asleep gently.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to subtly warn everybody that I'm doing that. But
on
yes,
video.
what's up, everybody?
So guys, you follow Instagram guys too?
I follow everybody, man. I follow the big names, bro.
He follows all the girls he wants and the guys he wants to be.
Is this normal? Do girls do this?
So
do girls
so
follow
you're-
guys?
100%.
Girls follow girls and guys?
Oh, 100%.
So Kevin's.
They want to be like.
Yeah.
So Kevin falls into
Yeah.
the cuck category
No
then.
one wants to be themselves.
I
Yeah.
just want to see cool dudes bang the woman that I wish I could have sex with. So he's
And so basically,
Don't
like,
hate
as
the
if you're a
player.
guy then and you don't meet the criteria of a fake guy on the internet who they don't know, you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening out there these days?
Pretty much.
As far as
Pretty-
sad kids only.
Pretty much for the millennials. Those.
You
Well,
are
I-
a millennial.
Yeah.
I feel like if I could say
It's
like
the
I've been-
exennials that are judging.
if we're going to a different sort of thing of social media, I found like online dating. Like I've never seen what other dudes like profiles are, but I imagine because dudes are like overplaying it, right? And I just kind of put up like whatever I think. Like I'm just like,
No, I've seen.
I feel like I might have a terrible profile, but like I'm like I don't know what it's like. But I think like looking at other people's, at least the women's side, it's like you're like, yeah, you can definitely tell it's like all their pictures are from a wedding. So they're like all the makeup done, or they're like when they were on
Vacation.
a really nice vacation, and they're never like
Or
regular.
a night out. Yeah.
So I like to see when a woman just puts up like a regular her hanging out somewhere, like, and it's like
like
but,
sitting
like-
at the Starbucks. She
Yeah,
just
where you would see
reverses the camera and takes the photo.
because you can actually see what she really looks like or is kind of like in real life probably, and then it helps to. But I'm thinking like, man, I probably have to play into that game too. Like I got to find more pictures of me like doing shit that's like cool, not just me taking a picture in front of my
told
Simon and
people-
Garfunkel albums or something.
I've
right?
told people before where, and no, I'm not shallow about this, but where people are like, man, she was, this girl so hot, like, oh, I'll date her, and I'm like, you have to see what she looks like in
real
the
life.
morning.
Oh yeah.
No makeup, like just waking up. And if she's cute to you, like if you're still like, wow, yeah, like I'm totally down with her, date her. Because in my experience, you know what I mean? I've had that where like they're not. Or I'm like,
Or you get ready to buy her makeup every single day. Just be her makeup guy.
I dated a girl like that.
Just buy
She
her
used to
makeup.
like paint her face on, and like
Yep,
you could
cakes,
notice.
cakers.
And I used to keep telling her, I'm like,
There's a lot in
you
Oshawa.
don't have to wear makeup because she was already like pretty.
Mhm.
No, I have to. And it's like, you really don't. And other people would say it too. And like, she just kept doing it. And like, it was just weird. So you're saying girls follow other girls
Yes. Because here's the thing. Let me
and they follow guys.
let me give you a little
fake guys.
Let me give you an insight on the millennial mind.
like, I don't mean
because-
following like celebrities or athletes or, people
No, but these guys are
like you might want to
Instagram-
follow. Like
these
girls
guys
might
are-
be like, oh, celebrity crush.
These guys are Instagram fucking celebrities. Look at let me.
Well, I see this guy. I see why girls would want to look at him.
2.25 million followers.
Of course.
25 million followers. What I'm saying is that a lot of the human psyche of the millennials is that they see people that are living a lifestyle.
5 million followers.
Yeah.
Maybe half an hour.
Okay, but this guy, filthy rich, gets to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Gets to do whoever he wants.
Yeah.
Okay, 25 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm saying is people look at that and
Try to be like him, but
they
they
try
have no
and they fall short.
means and act like an asshole.
Yeah, girls see that and they're like, "Oh man." No, well, here's the thing. The girls that are following him are girls that are like, "Fuck, if I latch on to a guy like that, I can be as successful as the girls that are already around
Gold
him."
diggers.
Like, dude, so let me give you.
Do you ever think that maybe like I always just follow people that you like to see their pictures and what they do?
Okay.
So like
It seems like girls don't want like a man.
I don't think that
anymore.
girls are necessarily always looking at guys who they think that's kind of what they want in a guy. It could be just like they like the kind of pictures they take or the kind of stuff they do.
Pretty boys.
No, I'm just saying like it's not like say for example, I was saying women like traveling a lot, right? That's the number one thing I read in every single woman's like
I know some who
blog or whatever. But I'm saying
okay.
the majority of them really love it. So this guy's going to always exotic places and taking photos and like all over the place. That's what probably a lot of the women are looking at. They're like, wow, that's a really interesting place.
don't. And his six pack.
And his six pack and six.
So he's got the
Right.
means, the body, and everything to get him.
Okay.
I'm just saying that like
happiness.
it's like I don't think it's always just like the particular reason, you know.
Right. Anyways, look, I just wanna clarify some things or narrow it down a bit. If you could talk to the millennials, you fucking exennials or whatever you guys call it thing. If you could talk to the
X
millennials,
gonna give it to you, baby.
what are some things they need to be doing to humble themselves?
Do what like my boy Kevin just said and go ride the Toronto Transit Commission. Get
Take a
yourself on the level of the people.
Yes. What do you think, Murray? What do you think people need to do to humble themselves?
Calm down.
Like,
They need to calm down, man. Like from what I've seen and even talking and if people don't like if you go against like 25 million people, obviously I'm the crazy one, right? Because there's 25 million people that are down with a certain thing.
yeah.
Where I'm like, that's crazy.
Mm.
They're going to all turn on me and be
Those
like,
25, yeah.
25 million people are going to go, you don't understand. And I don't.
Mm.
But guess what? I think there's like 78 million of me's.
Mm.
But you're not going to hear our voice other than like, whatever, you're ridiculous. But we won't mobilize in the same way, in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I hear that a lot from like that chapter or that, where if it's not in line with their thinking,
Yeah.
it's a lash out to you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And this is from dealing with people like, through work or whatever. If they don't hear that you approve of their lifestyle, like even like if, through work or even personal, they don't like you.
Right.
Your opinion doesn't matter. or it's mean. Like it's not even a personal thing. It's just like I just think that's crazy. Yeah. I think you're crazy in that aspect, but it doesn't mean I don't like you.
Yeah.
But they no longer like you.
Right.
Like they are now actively against you, and we'll share that to people to say, no, that guy,
it's
can't
like
be cool with him. Can't be cool with him because you know what? He's out of touch. He doesn't know.
People shaming other people for their beliefs or opinions
to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, and it's like having superiority. It's a weird place we're in right now. Instead of just like
superiority with numbers, the more people you can have turn. Or
people used to just respect each other for like having difference in opinions, and they could like work with that. Like it's like because the realization that like you don't have to like somebody just because not like somebody just because they're different or have different ideals than you do. But now it's like you're with us or you're against us. There's like this.
I knew a guy. You couldn't have your own opinion. If you had your own opinion, he would belittle you.
Well, it's like even like politics now. It's so partisan. Everything in politics and like social stuff is.
But you could know what you're talking about, and if he did not agree with you, you're a piece of shit, and he'll just rip you apart in whatever way he can.
Yeah,
it could be educationally, it could be financially, it could be whatever. He could attach that to you. To just shred you, even though what you were originally talking about was something over here, and you were right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's just shred, and it's horrible, right? Like to be around people like that or to know people like that, because that's how they function.
I disagree with Kevin a lot, but I still love him very much.
No, disagreeing is fine.
Yeah, and here's my thing. At the end of the day, life is like a fucking train. We're all on it.
Box of chocolates.
Here it comes.
We're all, hey. We're all on it. We're all trying to get to a place.
You gotta choose your own way.
It's probably fucking death, but we're all trying to get down to the same place. Everybody on that train is fucking weird and is different. Some have ponytails. Some are trans. Some are weird. Some are no. I'm not even gonna use the weird. Some people are just fucking different. And I think people need to realize, don't fucking judge, stay in your lane, and get off when you can.
There was a guy.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
Okay, let's go.
So I'm at Canadian Tire, right?
Fucking closing story. Okay, let's hear this. Hear this.
Are we closing? I don't know what you're doing.
This was better than the train story so far.
Let's go.
So
Canadian Tire.
Let's hear this.
And there's a pretty big line, right? And I'm there buying Lysol spray.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm there, and I'm in the line, and I'm waiting.
Yeah.
And a guy bumps into me, and the line is pretty big, but whatever. So a guy bumps into me. Doesn't say sorry. I turn around. Obviously, he's a millennial. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably like mid-20s, probably like 25 and under.
Okay.
He's got the fucking, the little strap going on there and everything. And he's like audibly looking at the drinks because there's like drink containers, or coolers right in the aisle there. The Canadian Tire long sell you something aisle to leave. And he's looking at him, and he's like, yo. And to nobody, he's by himself. Like, I don't know who the fuck he's with because it's like me, people in front, the people behind me are old, like three sets of old people. Like, maybe he's with people way back there. And he's like, where's the fucking Red Bull at, yo? Yo, boy. Oh, and he's like looking for this. And I turn around, I'm looking at this guy. And I'm like, you're an embarrassment. Like, I didn't say it to the guy. But then there was a Red Bull fridge, right? It wasn't the Red Bull that he wanted.
Right.
I don't know. It was, and he's like, what is this? They don't have it? Fuck. And the guy's loud. And I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, you go out in public like this.
Yeah.
Like a fool.
There's a lot of people
You're
like
a
that.
fool.
Yes.
And then he grabs it. He's like, I guess I'm drinking this shit. Yeah. And he grabs it and takes off to the back. And I'm like, you just embarrassed yourself. He doesn't give a shit.
Listen.
Which is fine. He didn't give a fuck. But you're an embarrassment to your generation.
I was gonna say he's an embarrassment
to male species, to your parents, to your friends, to everybody. You're an embarrassment.
But what I'm saying is,
and if I wasn't in the line, having an orderly fashion with a bit of a headache, it's like, hey, why are you acting like a fool?
Right. What I'm saying is that, you know what? Instead of worrying about that fuck,
who's worrying?
No, because you
I wasn't worrying. I'm like,
you spent mental power. You spent mental time on this fuck.
the guy was bumped into me and was right behind me, swearing
I know.
up like he was acting
What
like
I'm
an
saying
asshole
is-
about a Red Bull.
What I'm saying is,
You know what I would have done? I would have looked, went, and I would have walked away.
yeah,
Or you could have said, "Hey, I heard that goes really well with Tide Pods."
right.
That's
Anyways,
actually
look,
pretty good.
I think you just gotta let everybody do their own thing.
Zinger.
Boom.
And you know what? If
You
you
can drink that on the train on your way out. Chugga, chugga, chugga. Choose the Other Guys podcast.
okay, I'm gonna fucking wrap it up the proper way. What I'm saying
I
is,
thought that was pretty good. I like pointed and was like,
Yeah.
"Hey."
Okay. What
Like
I'm
Shooter McGavin.
Jesus Christ.
Who was
Yeah.
that again, Cap?
He was the fucking douchebag. The
Yeah.
fucking douchebag. What I'm saying is,
And,
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore?
Here's the thing. He was like Kavanaugh. Fuck. Here's my thing. If you're feeling a little dissociated with what's going on in the world and what life is about, and if you think that your life is fucking hard, take a train, or go somewhere where the less fortunate are. Train's an easy way to do it, but go somewhere.
What kind of train? You mean a subway?
A subway.
Or do you
Subway.
mean like a freight train?
No, a subway. Subway.
You mean like a metaphor?
Go mix with the plebs.
Like a legal hop on?
Get down there. Get humble. Go back. Yeah, you know what? Go a week without your. Or take some time to get away from your phone. Get away from social media.
A couple of hours.
Don't try to be Dan Bilzerian because you won't. Right?
Go hang out at a kid's park.
You know.
I think what Kevin is really
I'm
saying,
kidding.
everybody at home listening or watching, is take the express train to SoundCloud.com, Other Guys Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Apple Music, and now on YouTube. Baby, we're making it happen. Also, Instagram. Thank you, ma'am. Later.
Yeah. So that's
Sorry.
that's the Other Guys podcast, and
They're working on it.
yeah, we're working on a close.
I'm trying to help, but like,
Life is, I'm gonna give you a fucking quote and don't fucking.
I won't.
Closing quote.
I won't even
Life
do
is like fuck. Life. Hold on. Life is like a work in progress. Work on your own shit. Stop worrying about other people's shit. Boom, done. There you go. That's the Other Guys podcast. Bye.